I'm hoping this works, and the reason why I say this or say that is because I'm hooked to a little mic at the moment. If you're here and you're watching this and you're beginning to watch us, welcome. This is going to be a YouTube video, and the longer videos that I'm going to try and put out for this whole training kind of camp will be based around YouTube, and then what you see on Instagram is just going to be little small clips and probably the format that I just posted there. Originally just like a little amalgamation of certain videos from training this week, the total mileage that I accumulated, the average pace across all my runs, plus the average heart rate, just kind of some couple of metrics that we look at for myself and my coach. I am aware that I want to try and keep this video as short and condensed as possible. I tried to make one on YouTube already, and it was over, I don't know, around like 15 minutes long, and videos couldn't upload, and I couldn't, take them and put them on YouTube. I'm not well versed on YouTube, so I'm not really bothered. And there's kind of two real points why I'm making the YouTube. And the first point is really kind of for me, obviously. It's my channel, but it's more about giving back to me. I had originally kind of really cared of people's opinions. I had originally cared about what people would say and stuff like that, and it would play havoc on my head, even though I'm a happy-go-lucky type of gentleman chap. I take the slack and then I'd fucking give it back and stuff. But sometimes, when I have my own bit of downtime, I think about it and be like, oh, for fuck's sake. So point number one is this whole kind of series is about kind of giving back to me and bringing you along my process of the training, because as you may be aware, I'm not going to delve into it too much because there's no need. I had originally planned I was going to do that. I was going to fucking give a background of who I am, what I do, and where I've been. But just to cap it off, if you're not, my name's Jack Lawrence. I'm 28 years of age. Next Friday, I'll be turning 29. I have an original background in personal training, strength and conditioning for many years. I played rugby for years to an all right level, with club and then school. Tried to pursue a rugby career over in Spain. That just didn't go to plan. Came back, fell in love with the whole personal training side of it, and went into that and studied, did Biffy for my 2 certs. Tried a year in Carlow IT for sports science after being out of school around, I think, on a 5-year cycle already. Did my first year, failed chemistry and physics. Went back to repeat them, failed them again. I was like, yeah, I'm out of it. And then just fell into kind of little jobs from over there. And as most people would be aware, COVID played havoc. And when it came to the world, and it kind of destroyed my kind of hunger for the employment end of it. And I just kind of fell out of love with it. I tried to chase money. I tried to chase this, that, and the other. And it kills me to say it, but I burnt out, and I hold my hands up. I didn't want to be that individual in the industry that had to admit that, but I did. I'm not going to go into it because in the other video that I did record, I went into it, but there's no point. No one cares. So I did a career change, and now I drive. I'm in the public transport industry. I drive the Lewis now. Within a year and a half being in the company, out of working 4 jobs in the personal training world to working 1 job, I've doubled my salary. I've a pension fund, I've sick leave, I've paid holidays, I'm on a 12-year pay scale. So everything is good on that end. So that's the backlog of me. And coming back around to the point of why we're doing this is because as much as I fell out of love with training, being a coach, and now I've come back to it, I've started to kind of get a bug for it, but it's primarily down to running, because it's the only kind of thing that I get my free time into, and I have that kind of headspace of like, okay, I can get the running done. I don't have to go back down to X, Y, and Z to train and stuff. And so here we are. And in January of this year, I'd signed up for the Wicklow Eco Trail 47-kilometer ultra, and that's what I'm training towards. And I've brought on board a coach who's a friend of mine through college and has gone on, to complete his master's in exercise physiology, and who's a runner himself and plays football and is heavily involved and invested in endurance and stuff like that. So I've brought him on board. He's my coach now for the next 12 weeks, and hopefully thereafter is when we pick other kind of races we'll go along. But at the moment, on the forefront, 12 weeks is the goal to get myself ready for this ultra, and him knowing that I've never completed a half marathon. I've never completed a marathon. I've never completed an ultra, and we're going to complete that now in the next, I suppose, 11 weeks. So that is the goal. And point 2 of that is to kind of bring you along the training. So point 1 is just, this is for me, this is my enjoyment of speaking and documenting kind of the process, whether you tune in and have a look and listen. Deadly, don't expect anything mad. This is probably the only investment that I'm going to make, which is the fucking microphone. I'm not making any other investments. I'm not doing any snazzy clips. If I can get this done in one, it will be done in one. There'll be no intro music, no bloody nothing, just me. And point 2 is then just to give you a debrief of the training. So with that being said, week 1 is done. I had 3 runs accumulated plus 1 full body, but then at the start I did my own run. So I had 2 3-kilometer runs, plus I had a 4-kilometer loop there at Braehead. A lot of my running with the coach so far is based on zone 2. We're looking to keep my heart rate between a 150 to 160 beats per minute. And if that's the case, then we're allowing, a pace reading of 8 to 9 minutes per kilometer to allocate that, because I need a lot of zone 2. For instance, this week it's kind of changing. My pace will then drop again, but my volume in my run has increased. So last week I accumulated 14.9 or 14,950 meters because my other run was a 4.95 run before I got the coach on board. And it's actually a great correlation between that run that I completed to the ones that he associated with, because the one that I had on average on pace was like a 7:30. My heart rate average, I think, was like a 178 plus to a maximum heart rate of 2 something. So I was in the higher thresholds versus his, where I was a lot more zone 2 orientated, about a 152 average heart rate to a maximum there of like a 160 something. So I'm in a zone 2 era. So it's good now. I get to see those benefits. Training was really good. I've gotten that kind of bug of motivation, but again, we all know that motivation doesn't really last when you've got to knuckle down and keep discipline. And yeah, to round it off for this video, I'm looking forward to week 2. I think our word of last week and kind of bringing it into this week is build. We're looking to build again, building more volume. And not building intensity. We need to keep intensity, as he highlighted in the check, and we need to keep intensity kind of the same, but we're going to build the volume and try and keep the intensity the same, because respectively to the race that I'm going to complete now on the 28th September, you got to realise, or I have to realise, it's an ultra. It's 47 kilometres. It's 5 kilometres past a marathon. And really and truly, as the saying goes, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I've got to respect the distance. I've got to respect the elevation gain. I've got to respect the route, where it's going to be. I'm a small fish in a fucking mighty pond. I'm a nobody in this industry or in this world of trail running, but I really love it. I've crossed so many good people so far running, whether they're local or not. And, it's just, all they keep on saying is just enjoy it, just get out. So while I sit here now at my next location for my first run of the week, I'm about to hit a 5.6 kilometer run. Same principle, keeping at a zone 2 or a target goal there of distance and heart rate and at a pace. So we're going to wrap it up there, a 9-minute video. Welcome to vlog 1, week 1, the Eco Trail, the build introduction. And we'll catch you next week for vlog number 2. Good luck.